Tattoo is live now. Jump on. Shit, Pastor Dave, you just jamming, having a good time. Okay, I've done all my distributions that I want to do. Remember, tattoo stands for tough answers, tough topics, often overlooked. Certain things I always like to share with you. Happy New Year, first of all. Tough. Yeah. Tough answers, tough topics, often overlooked. Tough. You don't want to hear it, but it comes straight from the book. You need it. Tough. Hey, come on, sit. Tough answers, tough topics, often overlooked. Tattoo. All right. Enough fun with that. Listen, we had some things I wanted to share. Let's see. What do I have here? Tonight, we wanted to talk about principles. Principles are fundamental truths or propositions that serve as a foundation for systems of belief, behavior, or a chain of reasoning. I have highlighted and read rules to live by. All right? When you live by principles, it will save your life. You understand this? Living by principles will save your life. It's very important to live by, have a guideline, a template, a way of doing things whenever you're faced with a certain situation in life, okay? And sometimes people don't have any principles. They just kind of live their life any kind of way. And that's not good. You know, you should always have, principles will guide you. And principles are often adopted by people who have lived these principles. People who have made mistakes, and as a result of those mistakes have now have done the calculation for you. You know, experience isn't always the best teacher. You ever hear that? Experience is the best teacher. Not always. Wouldn't it be nice to take someone else's experience and apply that principle to your life so you won't make the same mistakes that they made? So you can learn something. You know, you don't have to commit a crime to know crime doesn't pay. All right? You don't have to do a lot of things and get burned as a result of it. You can learn, learn the law and learn things and the principles of how to avoid putting yourself in harm's way. All right? So principles are rules to live by. So remember that. We'd like to talk about that. They're self-principles, or to know thyself, know yourself, love yourself. Don't speak against your own self-progress. That's just a principle. Don't call yourself stupid. Some people who do that say, I'm just so dumb, I'm just so, and, don't do that to yourself. Let me see here. That's what I want. Some people say, I'm so dumb I can never do anything, or don't do that. Don't speak against your own self-progress. That's not good for you, all right? Always improve, do better. That's a principle to live by. So whatever you do today, you do very well. Always seek to do it better. Don't become complacent. Should never do that. If you're reading, if you don't read as much, I don't know how much you read last year, but you should improve this year. It's one of my goals is to complete more novels this year. Maybe complete a book a month. So I can do more than that, but that's like 12 books to complete in this year. That's a good thing because reading is fundamental and you can learn so much about yourself and about it. It broadens your horizons, right? It causes you to just, know things that you commonly would not know. And also it puts your brain at work. When you're watching TV is a storyteller. It does all the work for you. It just feeds you the images along with the language. That's what TV does. TV is a storyteller, and it makes it easy for you, right? All you do is just sit on a couch with some popcorn and some soda pop and just let the movie give it all, the highs and the lows, the scary moments. It leaves nothing for your imagination because they give it all to you. When you're reading a book, then you have to use your mind. You have to kind of go there and imagine what the author is trying to say. That develops your creative energy, your creative juices. That is so important. But you have to read. Reading is fundamental. All right? So the other thing is, when I say always improve, do better, be responsible. And I kind of separated that word respond able. Being able to respond. Sometimes people ask you a question and you act like you don't have anything to say, or you think you don't have to give an answer. As when you come home from school, your parents may ask you, what did you learn today? What did you do in school? You say, oh, no, I didn't, and don't really have a satisfactory answer. Stop that. You should be able to respond. Now, to be responsible means if someone gives you a task to do, all right, you're moving into adulthood. If you are an adolescent, that means you're a teenager. You may be 12, 13, and going into 18 and so forth. And you want people to trust you. So a test comes your way. Often somebody will ask you, your parents will ask you to watch the house. I'll be back in an hour. That's a test. All right. So when they come back, the door should still be locked. No visitors. Even if your buddies and friends wanted to come over, you say, I can't have anybody in the house right now. And hold on to that. Be responsible. That's a principle to live by. Don't just allow things to happen. Don't do that. All right. Keep yourself out of harm's way. Now, when I'm speaking to the youth, I ask them what does it mean to keep yourself out of harm's way? Harm's way is it's putting yourself in a predicament where you do not belong, where you can get yourself in trouble. All right. And you don't want that to happen. Hang on. Make sure this is doing what I need it to do. Keeping yourself out of harm's way. You see trouble and you avoid it. Avoidance is not a curse word. You should be able to avoid some things. You don't have to run into all the danger all the time. If you know someone, a fight is happening in school, you don't have to run up there and just be a part of it and get yourself in trouble. If you know some of your friends, they want to maybe do some crime or what have you, don't do it. Don't do it. Whether they're older than you or it's wrong. Your conscience is telling you, you shouldn't do this. Don't do it. Because, see, if you do it, you put yourself in harm's way. And something bad is going to happen, whether the cops come or you think it was cute to rob or stick up a convenience store, but not knowing that the owner had a shotgun and he didn't take any chances, wasn't playing any games. You were playing games. Maybe you didn't even have any bullets in that gun. Maybe it wasn't even a real gun. And you guys are just playing, just wanted to spook and scare somebody to get money out of the register. Well, on your way out, somebody could have gotten shot in the back. So you got to watch things like that, all right? And I give you that. Excuse me, I'm sorry for doing this. But I have a light here that I want to make sure it stays on. And does what I want it to do. And now I got this going on. And I need to make sure this is doing what I want it to do. Yes. A lot of moving parts. All right, so keep yourself out of harm's way. And then at the bottom, you see read books, read books, read books. I was just saying that, okay? It's kind of a repeat. And condition, these are principles to live by. Self-principles are, discipline, able to stay between the lines. So you can develop a discipline is able, again, to keep yourself in check, if you will. It's one thing somebody has to do it for you all the time. But what if you do it for yourself? right? It's better if you do it yourself. You keep yourself in check. You have to study. You have to be somewhere. You have to do a certain thing. Put yourself in check. You don't have to, have somebody do it for you. All right? Self-control, having rule over one's behavior or spirit. It's a principle to live by. Everyone should not be able to just push your buttons. All right? You should have some kind of control. When I was a child, when I was in school, they said, it's like the fighting words were if someone talked about your parent. They say, your mom or your mother this, your mother. Well, first of all, you don't even know my mom. All right? So why should I act like a park ape and get myself in trouble over something you said out of your mouth that you don't even know what you're talking about? You don't even know my parent. You're just saying it to try to get a rise out of me so I can get in trouble and get suspended from school or get in a fight. I'm not even going to go there with you, right? That's called self-control. There's many other ways. It doesn't mean you're being punked. It's just that you are controlling your destiny. I don't have to take a gun and shoot somebody out there and put myself in harm's way again. I have self-control. You're not able to push my buttons, all right? And another principle to live by is to give honor, which is give high respect as for worth or merit or rank. Now, to be honorable is, like I said, to give high respect for adults and elderly and even sometimes your friends. It all depends, what they've done. And when you honor someone, you schedule a blessing for your life. You schedule yourself to be honored. In other words, you reap what you sow. All right? So if you be dishonorable to people, you're going to get that in return. So you want to be honorable. All right? To be honorable is to do things that are favorable, that benefits everybody. All right? If you just serve yourself, that's not honorable. You want to be honored, but what's honorable is when people give of themselves. Sacrifice. I'm not saying die for people. In religion, Jesus did that. But we're to live, or be living examples, living sacrifices. Like they killed Martin Luther King by using him as an example. He gave his life. He didn't do it that he might die. That was a tragic thing that has happened. But put it this way, everyone that you see in public service, are giving themselves, what we call now during this pandemic are frontline workers, the people who are, in the midst of the danger and this virus out there. There are people who are masking up in the hospitals and trying to take care of patients that are coming in who are dying. That's sacrificial work. Yeah, they're getting paid for it, but they're still putting themselves on the front line. And then you have some that are not getting paid for it. Many organizations are feeding people because people don't have any money, if they lost their job during the pandemic, whether they worked at the restaurant and the restaurant closed, you lost your job. Convenience store, they closed the convenience store, so you lost your job. So you need income coming in. And you got an apartment that, you have to pay rent or you have to pay your mortgage, or whatever the case may be, and you need groceries. But then you have people who are sacrificially spending up their time to help people have something to eat, bagging up food and what have you. That's honorable, and you're going to reap what you sow. But you should live by principles. You should look for opportunities to be that way because it's better for you. It's better for you. And appreciate. It's an attitude of gratitude. Stop complaining about everything. I guarantee you there's somebody who's worse off than you. If you think you live in a house and all you have is bologna sandwiches, you're tired of eating bologna sandwiches, well, just think there's some families that don't even have that. They only have a house, right? They don't even have bread to eat. But here you have that. You got some Kool-Aid, maybe you're tired of Kool-Aid, but the very fact that you're able to make that, got running water in your house. And I can make many, many examples, but wherever you live today, wherever your circumstance is, remember, somebody is worse off than you. And when you show an attitude of gratitude, it has a way that, God sees that, and it has a way to cause you to increase. You say, Pastor Dave, what are you talking about? I'm talking about when you appreciate what you have, it puts you in a better position to receive more. Usually you don't want to give much to anybody who doesn't appreciate what they have. When people show grand appreciation for what they have, ideally, you just want to give them more. You want to bless them with more because you do so good with less. It's a principle. It's a principle to live by. And next word there is integrity. Tell the truth. Be honest. And do what you say. Stop saying you're going to do things and don't do it. Say, I'm going to show up. Oh, I'm going to be there. And you don't, you know. Be integral. All right, these are principles. It's something, again, these are rules to live by, regardless of how you feel. You know, certain things you'll find yourself doing because there's a principle. I'm living by a principle. Maybe I don't want to respond to you. Maybe I don't want to show up. You know, I said I would be there to help pass out the food. But then somebody said something that, you know, they said so-and-so is going to be there. I don't like so-and-so or whatever the case may be. And so you don't show up. And they were counting on you. You were supposed to be one of the persons there to bag up the food. But because you just had some little personal feeling that about a person, and not everybody knows about what you're dealing with, and you just don't show up. That's not integrity. Integrity is, I feel this way, and yeah, this person maybe is an ex. Maybe somebody you used to date or somebody, and you don't want to be in the same room with them, whatever. But the fact that you promised, you told the organizer that, listen, I'm going to be there. You can count on me. Integrity says, no matter what, come what may, I'm going to show up, even if I don't really, really want to be there. But I've obligated myself to be there. Now, listen, there's a blessing to being like that. It's a principle. And these principles can cause you to be rich. Principles can cause you to be increased in many, many ways. But if you shirk off your responsibilities, people are going to remember you for that. And so when the real big break comes, maybe that was just a small example, working at the food bank or giving of your time to do this or that or the other thing. And but if you keep saying no all the time, or if you keep being the type of person that says, yeah, I'll do it, I'll be there, and you just don't show up, guess what? When a greater opportunity wants to present itself to you, you won't get it because you played around with it too much. And so now no one can trust you. They don't know whether you're going to show up or not. All right? So, be integral. But integrity, now I can say a whole lot about that. Integrity, it's a principle to live by. And it supersedes your feelings. Irregardless of how I feel, I might not feel, it's kind of like what you have to do to keep a job. You're not always going to feel like going to work. But you told your manager, they said they would pay you every week. You show up from 9 to 5 or 8 to 4, whatever the case, or 12 to 4. 8 to 12, whatever their job is. The fact that you accepted the responsibility, you should show up. But see, sometimes, they ain't giving out a whole lot of hours. So, and one day you just decided you're just going to quit. So you just didn't show up at all. That's not integrity. Maybe you're looking for another job. Maybe you want more hours. And they're not giving out as much hours as you would like. That's understandable, right? But integrity makes you get your tail up, go there, because there's better coming for you. See, there's something about that. God sees this, the universe sees it, and your opportunities are attracted to you because of integrity. Like I said, you live by principles that'll cause you to be very wealthy. All right? The principles as it relates to authorities. Give respect to your parents, your family. Give respect to older people. Don't giggle and laugh and make fun of older people. They're your elders, and maybe they, maybe they may not do things right all the time, and maybe because their education wasn't as yours is today or what have you, and there's some obvious deficiencies that are there, things that they lack and what have you. But don't make fun of that. Because one day you're going to be old. And you're going to reap what you sow. But if you live by a principle, you give respect gets respect. Give respect to your managers. Give respect to leaders and officials. Listen more than you speak. That's a principle. Sometimes you're around people who are older than you, that are more knowledgeable than you, that have more rank and authority. You feel like you got to do all the talking. You get in the classroom, the teacher has studied and has accepted a job to educate you and the entire class. They know more than you. And they have their job for a reason, but you want to come in here, you want to do all the talking. Talk all over the teacher, what have you. Or you may be in a position where you are you get the opportunity to see someone who is wealthy. I keep thinking this thing, it looks like it's not doing what I'm expecting it to do. Hang on, y'all. Hang on. Okay, well, it is. It says it is. Sorry about that. Listen more than you speak is a principle to live by. So you're around your grandparents or people are older than you, and say you all are talking about something and something for you to learn. Listen to them. Stop running off with the mouth so much. It's like, you just want to be heard. Oh, look what I can do. Okay. And now if they ask you and they're giving you audience and, sure, give answers. But if you're in the presence of wise people and somebody's trying to hip you to the vibe and trying to give you some good knowledge, listen to that. Don't be so quick to keep talking all over them. It's because you think you know what they're talking about. Oh, yeah. And this, that, and the other thing. No, be quiet. That's a principle. Listen more than you speak. All right? Be a help, not a hindrance. In the community, the way you live your life, you should be a help to the community, not a hindrance. So what are we talking about? If you throw trash on the ground and you don't clean up in front of your house, you're being a hindrance to the goal of clean streets. On trash day, why can't you put your trash in front of your house? Whatever you're throwing out. If you're buying a new mattress or what have you, there's this groupthink, this ignorance in our society often that because the size of your trash, whether it's a mattress or a box spring from your bed or an old, I don't know, chair or what have you, you would rather throw that in an empty lot somewhere where no one will ever pick it up. All it's going to do is draw rats and bugs and animals sleeping and living in, and it's just a mess. And you wait for the city a year or 6 months down the line to clean that up. That's not a good principle to live by. All right? You're being a hindrance when we're trying to beautify the community, wherever you live. I don't care where whether you live on Tasker Avenue, whether you live outside of South Philly, or whether you live in another state, anywhere in the world. A principle to live by. Everything that I do, where I go, what I say, I want to be a help, not a hindrance. And you should be able to be a judge of that. Are my actions helping? Am I helping my teacher do their job when I show up? Or am I a hellraiser? It's when I walk in a room, what happens? It's hindering everyone from learning today because I showed up? Or am I a help to the environment by listening and complying to the rules? All right, let me go through this, y'all. All right. Here's principles to live by as it relates to work. Always do your best. Be on time. Perform the same, even when no one is watching you. The unseen has great rewards. I was that type of person. I never liked to showboat. I'm going to look good now because the manager's showing up. No, I always work hard. Sometimes I work my best when nobody's watching me, yet knowing that God is watching me, and that the angels see me, and those who are outside of our purview, you're being seen and you're rewarded. And remember, I put there in parentheses, the unseen has great rewards. Be trustworthy. Stop lying. Again, you say you're going to do something, do it. On the job, if they put you on a register, they should be able to trust you. Around money, it ain't your money. Now, I know some people, they sitting there and work on a register and you see hundreds of dollars coming in that register and 20s and your palms get itchy. Be trustworthy. Don't start stealing. Be honest. Be consistent. Be progressive. Look for opportunities to grow from where you are. That's what progressive means in the context of what I'm teaching here. All right, and be faithful. Once again, this principle is all through this teaching, which is to do what you say you're going to do. People should be able to count on you. And I know people today that I can't count on. And they may be good. Some people are only good as long as they're standing in front of you. Isn't that a shame? Are you like that? They're only as good as long as I'm standing in front of you. As soon as you walk away, it's a different story. Be faithful. Here's a proverb. The hand of the diligent shall bear rule, but the slothful shall be under tribute. What that means is if you're diligent about your business and about your job and about what you do, you're going to bear rule. In other words, people are going to put you in high positions. You'll become a manager because they're going to want you to, because they see you work with integrity and you're diligent about what you're doing. That's what that means. So you'll bear rule, meaning that you'll have managerial positions. You won't always be an understudy. One day you're going to be the manager and the overseer. All right? And then the latter part of that says, but the slothful shall be under tribute. In other words, if you're slothful and lazy about what you do, you're always going to be under hard tribute. Somebody always on your neck. You got a 30-minute lunch break and 29 minutes. The manager standing by the clock watching you and making sure you're not late, making sure you're on time. They tell you to do the job and they're looking over your shoulder. You got no autonomy at all. Autonomous is the ability to have some freedom to kind of go, you can trust me. You say I have worked for 8 hours and this is the job I have to do. Give me the job and let me do it. You don't have to stand over me. I tell you to clean the bathroom. I'm not going to stand at the door and say, all right, you missed the spot. Do this. No, wipe that down again. That's not clean. That's under tribute. That's what that means. Because you're not diligent. But if I ask you to clean the bathroom, I don't care whether you like cleaning bathrooms or not. If I come in there and the thing is spotless, and you went above and beyond. I mean, the mirrors are shiny and all of this, and the commode and everything smells like bleach. It smells fresh in there, and it was horrible in there before you came in. You changed the urinal cakes and all of that. They didn't even ask you to do that. Diligent. So now the next time you become the manager of the janitorial staff because you were diligent about that. That's a principle. That's a principle. Because often we won't be that diligent about things we don't like. So I don't like doing it, so I'm going to do it half behind. Or half. People say the A word. I'm not going to say that. But half behind. You do it halfway because you don't want to do it. Don't be that way. Don't even have the job then. If they're paying you, whether you like the pay you're getting or not, do the job. And if you're going to get another job, fine, get another job. But don't burn your bridges. You know what that means? You know what it means to burn your bridges? That means when you burn your bridges, that means you treat your immediate situation as if you're never going to need this again, or as if there's no profit in it at all, no benefit. It's unworthy of your presence, and it's just, don't be that way. There's another proverb, it's all labor is profitable. If you're working at McDonald's on French fries, you still can get a check. It's profitable. Sometimes working some of these jobs, you learn some things about yourself that you just never would have, never thought you would learn. So be faithful, okay? Next. We have our tattoo cell phone app. I always like to advertise that. You can't see hardly that in yellow, but I'm asking you if you would text "Hi, my name is" and to this number 484-655-2994. I will send you a link and you can install this app on your phone. Let me do this. The cell phone app is our tattoo app. And in the tattoo app, I have free pizza promotions, free books, a movie tickets when we're able to go to the movies again, and other things that we share via the app. So you have to have the app installed on your phone and communicate with me via the app. And there's a lot of great opportunities that are afforded to you. The app is free, all right? And it gets installed on your phone, and you can begin to even see these videos, all the videos prior to. Those things are listed. So in some cases, you don't even have to go to YouTube. You could look at the videos from the app. I want you to install the app. I want you to have the app on your phone so you can. Now, when I talk about or when we talk about pizza promotions, check this out. When we talk about pizza promotions, if you know anything about tattoo, the way we conduct tattoo, we're virtual now. When we were physically together, I would, order for pizza, and the pizza would show up at Di Silvestro, which is at 15th and Mars, or 15th. 2600 Mars is Vare Rec Center. We used to do tattoo in 2 physical locations twice a month. I'm doing it every Wednesday now, virtually. But what I would do, I would show up about 6:45, 7 o'clock. The pizza would show up around 7:15, 7:30. We get started. Have the music playing in the background, and we go into the teaching. We have a good time. We really do. You can go to our Facebook page, a tattoo. MCM Tattoo. You can see all the photographs. Usually I'm taking selfies with the kids in the background, and usually when I'm done, I do a little short video. I say, everyone say tattoo, and everyone say tattoo. Tough answers, tough topics, often overlooked. Yeah. So, but what I'm doing now, I'm offering like Uber Eats. No one has taken me up on that challenge. I need to know that you are going to be in attendance. If you're going to be in attendance with Tattoo when we go live on Wednesdays at 7, every Wednesday at 7. All right, we kind of had a little lapse over into the new year. I think it's been about 3 weeks that we have not broadcast, but we're at the top of the year. So every Wednesday we do Tattoo. And if I know you're going to be in attendance, and if I know you are with a group of some other young people, I'll send some pizza there. Wouldn't that be awesome? If you are a follower of Tattoo and you can show me, maybe we can do a Zoom, especially if we do Zoom via all of this. I'll send some hoagies or what have you, and y'all can sit there and grub and be watching Tattoo. We can all do it together. Wouldn't that be awesome? That's what I'd like to do, because we can't physically be in the rec center right now. So I'd still like to offer the eateries as part of it. So listen, we'll talk some more about that. The books, I have a book here. But books we usually are offering, if you look in the Tattoo app, you can see some of the books that we were giving away. It was a book written by, what's her name, Keke Palmer, entitled, I Don't Belong to You. I don't know if you know Keke Palmer. She's a grown woman today, but she was famous for Akeelah and the Bee. If you haven't seen that movie, that's a good movie to see. You hear me? So listen, that's why I want you to get the Tattoo app. Install it on your phone. I'll show you one more time. Tattoo. So listen, it's tough answers, tough topics, often overlooked. Trying to get knowledge in your brain that comes straight from the book. You need to hear it. You need to grow by it. You need to make a better decision in your life. Tough answers, tough topics. Tough answers, tough topics. Tough. Yeah. Tough answers, tough topics, often overlooked. You need to hear it because it comes straight from the book of your brain, the book of your mind, so you can grow yourself and be a better individual in this life. Tough answers, tough topics. Yeah. So listen, until we come together again.